Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Eddie Miranda with the Pro League News Pages. We're on the road to the Arnold Classic, and we're interviewing quite a few athletes going into it. And today we have a very special guest. He's actually over from the pond, so the Atlantic Ocean. He's on the other side, but he's no stranger to the stage. He's actually been competing for, I would say, maybe like almost a little bit over 10 years.
Yeah.
But he is a very recognizable face. He is a true guy. He has been on the Olympia stage. And today, who I want to be able to welcome to is Ryan John Baptiste. How are you doing, Ryan? How's everything?
Yeah, I'm all good. All good.
So,
Cold here in the UK though.
yeah, how's the weather over there right now?
We just had a storm,
Eh,
so it's pretty windy and cold and rain. It's England. That's
I,
nothing different, you know.
I talk to Ryan Terry every once in a while.
Yeah,
He says that the weather over there is just like not the best.
not the best at all. Not the best. It's okay though, like when you're prepping, because like for me, when it's hot, it's hard to train. So it's easy to train, you know, when it's cold and windy.
Yeah. So I really want to dig deep a little bit into your past.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I know you really did start competing like at 20, but as in high school and stuff like that, like what kind of person were you? Were you the kind of person that was in sports, or
Yeah.
what kind of kid were you like growing up before you even got into this whole thing?
Yeah, I was proper sporty. So like, I did a number of different sports from athletics, football, rugby, a little bit of cricket as well as a wicket keeper.
Wow.
So in like secondary school, we call it secondary school. I believe it's high school in the
Correct.
US.
Yeah.
In secondary school, did all a number of different sports. Basketball, another one. I had well, I was thinking about the other day that I had a mentor. I did have a mentor back then, like the PE teacher. He was really a mentor, and he pushed me to do different sports. Every morning we played basketball from like 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. like every morning, 5 days a week. So yeah, I was thinking the other day he kind of helped me when I was in the secondary school, which was that period of my life. He pushed me for me to become probably who I am now. You know, so
Yeah,
yeah.
so like I know a lot of athletes, especially a lot of athletes that do well in bodybuilding. They come from a very sports background, or they came from being a bullied kid and they want to get into bodybuilding and stuff like that. But since you came from sports, like how has that helped you in your training and your career as a bodybuilder?
Yeah, I think it's helped me just through like the discipline side, where I'm like, right, okay, right, let's hit this session hard, and like anything less, you're not happy with. And I think that's come from being pushed in whatever sport I was doing at the time. It's like trying to be my best. So like in terms of in the gym, same kind of thing. It's like I'm not happy if I've had a poor session. I want to keep progressing, keep bettering myself, make sure the session is hard, and I walk out there like nothing left in me. So yeah, it's definitely kind of carried through into my adulthood.
Now, at the age of 20, you started competing, right? But
Yeah.
but also at that time you became a model. But I think you became a model because of the actual league that you're competing with. So tell us about your history in the Fame UK, which was the first league that you got into.
Yeah, so basically, like after you get to a point where like the sport has just like died out. You've tried every sport in the world, and I had nowhere to go. And there's one I can always remember it. I was sitting in my wife's house at the time. I was thinking, what can I do? Like, what can I do with myself? I mean, I used to play football with her, it all just kind of, I was injured. I was just little things would stop me from doing those sports. So I picked up a magazine. It was Muscle and Fitness. It was a Muscle and Fitness. I believe back then, Muscle and Fitness was just one. There wasn't a UK version, or US. It was just one. And I remember it was David Kimmerly. Kimmerly, do you remember him?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the front cover. I was like, how do I get myself in this? Because I've always I've always done weights, which complement my sports growing up. So I was like, how do I get in this magazine? How does that work? So I was like, I actually went onto the computer and I Googled how to get into fitness magazine, something along those lines. Yeah,
Google's always there for you, man.
yeah. And then up popped Fame UK, it was called. And the prize, one of the prizes was to get into the magazine of Muscle and Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously the Google optimized for my my search. So I thought, right, okay, cool. Like, right, let's have a look at this competition. And I looked at it, said, all right, if you win the fitness model category or whatever it was at the time, you would get an article, a feature in this Muscle and Fitness magazine. I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I entered it. This was back in 2009. I entered it, and I think I did like a 2 month prep or something. I had no clue what I was doing. I was doing all sorts of stuff. I mean, I wasn't even dieting. I was just training. And I always had a decent physique anyway, like structure, and my genetics were always good. So I just literally rocked up in these like Speedo kind of shorts. And yeah, I actually got first place, fitness model. It was on the beach. It was in Brighton, which is like the beach area in the UK. And yeah, so won the fitness model category, and I believe I got second in the muscle model category, and that allowed me to get to this magazine. And then from there, it just went like that, you know.
So given the fact that now, because of that, you jumped into the modern career, after the Fame UK, you actually popped into the WBFF, which mind you, I mean, unlike yourself, there's been like a couple other guys, you know, like AJ Ellison that came from WBFF that are huge hits here in the IFBB. Now tell us about your history in that league.
Yeah, so I did Fame and UK for a couple of years, and then WBFF was starting to get big at that time. So now we're looking at 2010/2011, and I was always following Rob Richards at the time, like inspired by him, what he was doing. He's from the UK as well originally, so he was doing WBFF. He was promoting it. He was a pro at the time. So I thought, all right, let's try this WBFF thing, because it was also a fitness model as well. You know, back then there was no men's physique category, so I entered. I think I went. Where did I go? Canada, I believe, to try and get a pro card. Did I get it first time? I don't think I got it first time. I think I got it second time. I got a pro card with the WBFF, and I went to the Worlds twice. I got third, and then I got second in the World Fitness Model. And that was like 2011 and 2013. So I did quite well in WBFF at the time, and yeah, I made the switch from there to then men's physique side popped up.
Yeah.
In 2014.
Yeah, exactly. So you started competing in the UK BFF, which the UK BFF was part of IFBB International.
That's right.
And then because of you competing there, that's how you earned your pro card in the UK.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the story. So Ryan Terry got his pro card in 2013.
Correct. Yeah.
And I saw him, like, I was looking, what is this new men's physique category board shorts? So him and Rob Richards are actually on the qualifier for the British finals. A bit like yourself, you've got to do a qualifier for the nationals.
Correct.
So the qualifier was only Rob Richards and Ryan Terry, two of them. And I believe it was like both of them went to the British finals, but Ryan Terry won that category at that point. And then he got his pro card in 2013. So I thought, I was looking at this, I was watching, okay, I was watching from like the background because I was still doing WBFF. And then I thought, okay, this is interesting. So it was the end of 2013, like November time. Well, you know what? Yeah, there's a qualifier, a UKBFF qualifier for the following year's British finals. So this is end of 2013. So let's give it a go and see what happens. I did a 4-week prep, and this was just after the World, so I was in decent shape. So I did a four weeks prep, and then I got third at the qualifier. But it was top 3 that allowed me to qualify for the British finals. So I qualified just third place. I was happy with that because I just wanted to just qualify, and then I could put the work in.
Yeah.
And then I had literally a whole year to prepare for the British finals, and got to the British finals. And back then, UKBFF was busy. There was 140 competitors in the men's physique that qualified for the final.
Oh wow.
140. I was in the tallest category because they split it in. I'm not sure how they do it in the US.
The same way they split it in heights. Yeah.
So I was in the tallest category, over 183 or whatever it was, 183, and you have to win. Obviously, there's 40 in my own height category, and there was 4 other categories, and so I won out of my 40 guys, and then it was the overall, and only one person would go through.
Yeah.
Back then, UKBFF was only one men's physique pro a year. That's it, one. And I got into the overall. This is now British Finals 2014, and I got the pro card. I got the vote. So it was only myself at that time and Ryan Terry as a pro in UK.
So that's crazy. Just in the UK alone, there was only one time that you'll be able to go and shoot for your pro card, and that's it.
That's it.
And you couldn't go to any other country and to do it, right?
No, that was it. UKBFF or nothing.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
So
everyone's lucky now. They're lucky. They got loads of opportunity.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, everybody now is completely lucky because you have all these pro qualifier shows. There's more than one opportunity. Especially,
I think, in a way, I mean, I'm not like saying it's diluting it or anything, but Ryan Terry and myself, we always have ended up getting to the Olympia at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the quality, doing it that way, the quality is a lot better. Mm-hmm. Or the competitor. But even though, you see what I mean? So like, now obviously there's a lot more pros from the UK and not everyone's, the level's slightly dropped, I think. So yeah, it gives people an opportunity to become a pro, but I think the levels have slightly dropped, even though they're good physiques. But when you go up to the top level, you can be found, right?
Yeah,
you can be found out. But yeah, I mean, some people that turn pro now, they're not ready. Like, I think when you turn pro, there's still like 3 different levels as a pro.
Yeah.
And I think back then, because it was only one a year, you had to be like real good, I guess. And Ryan Terry went straight from winning straight to like the Olympia, right?
Yeah.
And he still is there every year.
No, and the thing is, like, what we have now is like we have like the tiered system. There's like 4 different tiers of like the different scales of the competition. And I feel that that's more of like a guideline. Like, let's say you're a brand new pro, you got in, but you feel like you need to work on your physique. So then, if you want to compete, so then go for like a tier 4 or tier 3.
Yeah, no, true.
And then start working yourself up.
Improving,
but you're absolutely right. Some people are like, oh man, I got my pro card. Let me go for like the biggest one. You know what I mean? And some of them, I mean, I would say about like 95% of the people that get their pro card are not prepared, or you know what I mean, to like get up there.
Yeah, 100%.
So you got your pro card in 2014. You went, and 2015 you competed at the San Marino Pro, which is your first place show.
No, I did. I actually did. I went in big. So I did a New York Pro in May. It was May, isn't it? May 2015.
Correct.
Yeah. May 2015. I got that prep all wrong. I must admit, I got it all wrong. I was flat, stringy. I was okay lean, but if you're going to be flat and stringy, you best be shredded, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't either, so I got that one wrong, and I didn't even. I got a DNS on it. What do you call it?
16th place, which is they stopped.
Yeah.
They stopped.
Everyone gets 16.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. For me, I just like, let me go straight to. I wasn't expected to do anything. For me, it was just like, let's see what it's all about, and mentally it will prepare me going forward as a pro.
Yeah.
So I didn't place, but for me, that's cool. I don't, get my head. It doesn't like make me depressed. It makes me want to work harder.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I then prepared for a European show, and I believe it was Russia. I did Russia first.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Now I remember that show. I remember because we covered it. I covered it with the other Ryan Hinton. Remember that?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. He came over.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. No. He did another one. He did the following year.
That was Prague, right?
For that, yeah, this is 2016. So I got third or fourth in that one. I can't remember precisely. Russia against Denis Gusev and Robin from Hungary.
Yes.
I'll tell you who else came over from Canada or US. Andre. He's now Classic Physique. He hasn't competed for a while, but anyway, So I got third or fourth in that competition. But then a week later, there was the San Marino Pro, and all of us from that same show were going to compete because it was only a week later, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig deep here. I'm gonna have to dig deep. So I did a week of digging deep. Like I was going in. I went in, and I brought a good package. And again, different set of judges as well. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you just don't know. But I think I was a lot better than I was in Russia, Moscow. And yeah, I ended up getting getting first place, and that qualification for the following year's Olympia. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was like cool. I was like, right, okay. Then Big Ramy awarded my medal, and it was good to go. Yeah.
So after that show, you really didn't do anything except for wanting to focus on the Olympia for 2016, right?
Yeah, literally that was like, I believe that was November 2015. So yeah, I had a whole year, or just under a whole year for the September 2016 Olympia.
Now, how, like for that show, it being your first show, you being from the UK, coming over to the US to compete for that, like how was that experience?
What, the Olympia?
The actual Olympia in 2016.
Oh man, I was buzzing. I was so excited. I mean, I was like, what have I got to lose? I felt like there was no pressure on me whatsoever. Like no pressure at all. I was like, let me just bring a package that I've never brought. I believe I did a 12-week prep for it, and I pushed hard for the whole 12 weeks. There's a few times I kind of cheated on my diet. I'm going to admit it, but because I don't normally do such a long prep, so I gave myself enough time to implement that into my prep. But yeah, I was buzzing. I was so excited. Everyone came. My family came, and there's quite a few of us on that stage. We were like 44, I believe, 44, 45 guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's always been heavy competition with the amount of competitors that for men's physique at the Olympia, and it's kind of like dwindled down throughout the years. But from 2016 to now, you really haven't been able to step on the Olympia stage ever since then.
Yeah, so I didn't compete. Like I had a year, nearly 2 years out. Didn't compete at all.
Yeah.
The reason why is when they got rid of you win a qualifier and you qualify for Olympia. It's the point system. And for me personally, I didn't agree with it because, especially being from the UK, there's a few reasons. One being you've got to travel to the US all the time, back and forth.
Yeah.
A lot of money. And you haven't got the opportunity to just place first and qualify. You have to keep going back.
Yeah.
To get points, right? So for me, like, it didn't make sense, like, business-wise. And it's just too much on the body as well. Like that means I've got, if you're coming second, third, or even fifth, or not even placing, then how many times have I got to compete just to get to one show, the Olympia?
Of course, yeah.
So I put that. So I kind of like thought about it. I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm sure they'll change it back at some point. I had that belief because I just don't think it's going to work, And then it came back, and then as soon as it came back, I was ready to compete.
But in that time, didn't you switch to Classic for like a show?
No. I did think about it.
Yeah. So we did discuss about it, but you never actually graced the stage as Classic.
Yeah, I didn't compete. And then at the same time, they put the weight up for Classic Physique. And these guys are big. I was thinking, no way, nah, this ain't for me. Let me just stay in my lane and wait for men's physique to come back to how it was. And I knew it was going to come back to just placing first and qualifying automatically. But I did do a couple shows in that time. in that period of where, actually, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No. I competed twice when it was still the place first and qualifier. But no, I didn't. I didn't actually compete when we had to do multiple shows. No, tell a lie.
Now you say like classic that the weight was too high. So for your height and your what's supposed to be your weight and where your weight when you normally compete, because that deters a lot of people from actually switching over the classic because they feel like they have to gain like 20 or 30 pounds just to make their weight.
Yeah, I can see why they did that as well, because it stops us from doing that, you know. And there's at least a gap, you know, a little bit of a gap, so you can't. But so when I'm on Olympia 2016 on stage, I believe I was between 96.5 kg and 97. Okay, I don't know what that is in pounds.
That's roughly like 180, 190, somewhere around there. We'll do the math later. But,
I'm sure it's more than that. I'm not that light. Hold on. Wait, 97 times 2.2. 97 times 2.2. 213.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was about 213 on stage, but I believe for my height now, if I was to do classic, it's like in the 222 or something like that.
Yeah.
In the 220, so it's a lot.
Yeah, so to grow that size and then to shred down and to keep that weight, that would take you about like 2 years just to be able to get there.
And also these guys, they're sucking themselves down to get to that weight.
Yeah.
You know, the bodybuilders sucking themselves down to get to their weight. So as soon as they carb up and do whatever they got to do, they could just blow you away, you know. So I thought to myself, let me stay in my lane and stay with men's physique for now, you know.
All right. So now going into this year's Olympia, this is going to be the first time that you actually grace that stage. Now you submitted your application.
Arnold, you mean Arnold?
I'm sorry.
Arnold, you mean?
The Arnold.
Arnold, yeah.
So this is going to be the first time you grace that stage. You submitted your application for it. What's your intent to wanting to compete on that stage after not being on stage for so many years or so many times since the actual 2016 Olympia?
Well, obviously, I did 3 shows last year.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, I did Romania, got 2nd place. I did Japan, got 3rd place, and I did San Marino, got 1st. So that was my last show coming first out of like 20 odd competitors. So I want to keep momentum. That's the first thing. I want to keep my momentum. I had Christmas off, enjoyed myself. And I thought to myself, you know what, if I do qualify in San Marino, which I did, I thought I'm going to do Arnold's, because what I want is I want to see where I am amongst these guys. Like the top 5. I want to see where I am, because I had a feeling that the top guys are going to do the Arnold as well. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's about the same judging panel that you'll get at Olympia as well. So I want to see where I am, where I stand against them. Mm-hmm. And for me, I want first call out. I'm going there to do well. I'm not just going there to take part. And I believe in like my physique. I've been training for years. So if I get it right, I can cause some trouble, and that's what I'm looking to do.
That's cool. So, like, compared to your qualifying win to your prep for the Arnold, what changes or what differences have you done, whether your workout or your diet is concerned, in order to prep for the show?
Yeah, good question. So, 3 weeks before San Marino, 3 or 4 weeks, Abdullah is my coach now. So. Abdullah, Brandon's coach, mm-hmm. he approached me like, he would like to work with me. So we had like a couple of weeks into San Marino, and I liked his methods. They're pretty hardcore, and he puts a lot of belief in you as well. So we've continued from after Christmas till now, and I normally go lower in my carbs, but he keeps me on a decent amount of carbs. Cardio is about the same that I'm normally used to anyway, but my training, like I've stepped up, like mentally, I've stepped up my training like on another level. I'm trying to train with certain people, mm-hmm. trying to be around certain circles that can push me and get the best out of myself as well. If you don't know how I train, or people don't haven't followed how I train, I train a lot of volume, so I'm a lot of like supersets and giant sets, high volume, like 15 to 20 reps kind of guy.
Yeah.
Slow and just really getting into muscle fiber. I'm not really one, like now and again I go heavy, but nothing too crazy. When I do go too heavy, I just feel it in my joints and it's not great. So
Yeah.
my muscles respond to high volume training.
So, like, given the fact that you're now working on Abdullah, right?
Yes,
So before that, like, did you always just prep yourself going into a show?
literally from 2009, prep myself.
Wow.
Got
So,
myself to Olympia and I got 11th, second
so,
call out.
so,
Yeah,
so you had to learn your body on your own. You had to figure it
yeah.
out. You couldn't second guess yourself. You had to
No,
go.
yeah. Yeah, I would always second guess myself, to be honest. I would always be like, should I do that? Should I? But I always knew that hard work and dieting hard is going to win.
Yeah.
You know, that's as simple as. But having someone like Abdullah just kind of, qualifying things and having a different opinion and different eyes and kind of working together does help. Like he might say to me, right, Ryan, you need to do abs this many times, or
Yeah.
I want you to do abs this, and that. It's just someone helping me. Okay, cool. I do need to do that. That's what I need to do. And it does help.
Now, doing this prep, like, did you want to improve, like, on any body parts that you felt that were lacking going into the Arnold?
Yeah. So for me, like my abs, I feel that I need to have them a little bit thicker, and just like overall condition. Like I got feedback from the judges in San Marino, and they said that perfect, like, because you got to remember, men's physique is proportions and pretty physique. Yeah, you haven't got to be big. It's not about that, right? It's about how, especially now the new kind of thought process they've got. Everything needs to be in line: your shoulders, your chest, your arms. Nothing out of proportion. So luckily, my portions are good. They just said I could be a little bit harder. Okay, so just a little bit harder. So that's my main aim, is to try and be a bit harder and have a little bit more thickness in my abs, and that should improve my overall look.
Now, given the fact that when men's physique, you're judged on body parts, like what you said, your back, your midsection, your chest, your shoulders. Going on to the Arnold stage, with it being 12 competitors, which body part do you feel that you could, like, overpower on that stage?
Good question. At the moment, I feel that I've improved a lot. Like since my San Marino show, I'm a lot more fuller in my shoulders and my chest, coming from the front side. My back is good as well, but there's some other guys that backs are good as well. But I think for me personally, just my width of my shoulders and how I now have understood that if I diet hard enough, my waist comes really small.
Yeah.
Compared to my shoulders. So if I can play that V-tape game, maybe a little twist of the hip, but I've realized as well I don't even need to twist. When I get myself in real good condition, I can actually stand straight on. But my abs are not the best. They're not laid out the best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the genetics. I can't do anything about that, right?
Yeah.
But I've got decent obliques, so I have to work with kind of maybe showing my obliques a little bit more, but having my shoulders nice and wide.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that works in my favor. And my round muscle, like I'm quite rounded off just from years of training, just round muscle, especially if I get it right and I'm not flat. If I get it right, my muscle bellies are nice and round. And I could, hopefully I can cause some trouble.
So talking about kind of trying to cause some trouble, like,
yeah.
I know everybody's going to go after Andre. He's going for his third time.
Yeah, of course.
And of course everybody wants to get that spot. But other than that, like, who do you feel would be your biggest competition on stage in order to get that top spot? Like, who do you feel will be standing in your way to get there?
It's got to be those four, those three, I believe. Which, I mean, everyone's good, right? There's some great guys on that stage, But when I look at physiques, I know a good physique, like an overall balanced physique. You've got Brandon, Andre, and what's his name, the Brazilian guy.
Kaiki.
Yeah, so they've got pleasing physiques, all different physiques, but oh, and the Colombian guy is very good.
Chala.
Yeah, very good. So I know when I see a good physique. So those guys are there, and they're going to be bringing their game. So I intend to do the same. And again, there's 12 guys up there, so I think everyone's got a chance to do well because we should have good stage time. We should have, I've got a good feeling that they're going to make us work really hard. So I'm practicing. And the good thing about it is that, we're going to get our stage time, and I believe that we'll get judged fairly. I believe the head judge and the other judges, they judge as they see it. Mm. And whoever looks the best on that stage will do well.
Yeah, and you said about time because that's very crucial. I just finished speaking with Bob Lomari.
And you got George Brown.
Yeah, and you got George Brown. But I just finished speaking to Bob and talking about the aspect of men's physique in the past few years, or when it really got introduced into Arnold. There was always over 30 guys on that stage, so you guys really didn't get your due diligence when you guys were on the main stage at your pre-judging. I remember the first year I went, it was 2016, and literally 45 minutes. The next year was like 30 minutes, and the year after that was literally like about 15. Everybody's being rushed through there.
Right.
How do you feel about now getting that proper time to be able to compete on that stage and properly display your physique?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, it makes me want to work even harder because you got loads of eyes on you for a longer period of time. So you have to make sure you're on point. Like for me, posing practice, I'm doing it every day long, every day, holding my poses for 2 minutes at a time, literally. Like I'm not leaving anything unturned. I want to make sure I cover everything, and it just makes me want to. It just makes me more excited because we get that stage time, and whoever looks the best should win it because the judges have got time to judge us properly, and no one should be overlooked. No one should be overlooked.
Now, taking the fact that there's only 12 guys on stage, including your, with yourself included in that number, in comparison to Olympia, now, do you feel that this show would be more competitive than the actual Olympia, or vice versa?
Good question. Well, it's 12 of us. I think this could be more competitive. I think this would be more competitive because you've got more chance to. You got more. Well, it's going to be tougher in terms of like being on stage. It's going to be a lot tougher because you're going to be on their pose. We're going to be sweating on stage.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard work, and I believe it'd be a lot more competitive because there's only 12 of them for us to kind of like for them to look at. So they're going to be moving us around all the time. Whereas we're at Olympia, sometimes they kind of like they've got their idea. They've got an idea of who's going to be in first and second call out. So it's just like, right, okay, just got to kind of just turn up. And then when you turn up, then you work. Whereas this, I reckon it's quite open. And in the past, there has been different winners as well. There's been, they judge it. And this is through the other categories as well. Bodybuilding, the men's physique classic, it is what it is, Yeah. And they judge how fairly and they see how it is. Olympia, I don't know, it's the same kind of thing, but there's a lot more of us. I just think when there's a smaller amount of competitors, I believe it's going to be a lot more competitive, definitely.
And what's your fan base like? How is your fan base getting behind you going into the show?
Yeah, I think this Arnold, right? Arnold. Yeah. I mean, I've pushed it a little bit, saying I'm doing it. But yeah, you get people excited because they want to see you against the top guys, and they're quite queer. Like they're quite okay. What's going to happen? How's Ryan going to do? He's got a good physique, but how's he going to do against this guy? How's he going to do? So they're quite interested, and especially because obviously I'm from the UK. I'm the only person from the UK doing it. So a lot of people are quite intrigued in what's going to actually happen. So That'd be good. I just want to go out there, bring my best, and that's literally all I can do. Bring my best, and I think if everyone brings their best, it'd be a good competition.
Awesome, man. Now, after the Arnold, right? You're already qualified through when you competed at San Marino Pro. Do you have any sights on any shows coming up before the actual Olympia itself, or do you want to, just work on your physique, going, taking like those 6 months and just working on your physique to
Yeah,
get
I'm
there?
gonna rest my ass and train, obviously, but obviously focus on business at the same time. Because when you're prepping, like business is tough,
Yeah.
and it's hard to mix the two. Like even now, I'm just like struggling. But so yeah, I'm gonna take time out and just be a bit more refreshed because I've competed since like when it was Romania, it was October. So I've been just banging it out, dieting all the time. So it'd be good to just have like a good few months off and just to relax and eat. Like you can walk into a shop, I'll be able to walk into a shop and say like, I want to eat that,
Yeah.
you know. Whereas at the moment you can't really do that. So and that's been like that for a long time. So I want to take a break. And I think what happens, my body will kind of like the next time I cut, my body will cut a lot easier,
Mhm.
and my my mind is a lot more fresh and a bit more hungry. Whereas because I've been dieting all the time, it's just like at the moment it feels like it's just a normal thing. uh, so yeah, I think everything will be refreshed if I have a break.
And given the fact that this is your first, this is your first Arnold competition, I'm assuming that this is your first time over at the Arnold in the U.S.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to when you go over there? Other than the fact you stepping on stage on one of the most prestigious stages in the world right now. What are you looking forward to? Like, are you looking forward to like the other divisions? Are you looking forward to the expo? Like, what are you excited about once you get over there?
To be honest, I mean, the weather.
It's going to be cold and probably snowing. I'm just
Yeah,
letting you know that right now.
yeah. I need to bring a jacket, definitely. But even just like I've never actually met Arnold. I've never even seen him in person. So I'll probably, hopefully, we'll see him backstage. Just might hopefully get a video of him. But yeah, I don't know much about Ohio. I'm looking forward to. I know they had it at the Olympia as well, but I'm looking forward to actually pumping up properly backstage.
Yeah,
Proper gym setup.
yeah.
But yeah, shaking his hand, the weather, and that's about it. I don't know about food, but I'm excited to eat food out there. And yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, the expo. To be honest, I don't know too much about the expo either.
No,
Uh,
the expo gets crazy. It's a lot of
right.
fun.
Okay. Yeah. At the moment, I just had most of my sight is just on. Like every time I train, every time I'm doing my cardio, every time I have a meal, I just visualize walking onto that stage, and that's what keeps me going. Just visualization, those first 10 steps, like, and the reaction of how people look at you, and that's what drives me through my prep.
And now given the fact that there's other divisions out there at that show, are you looking at any other divisions in the sense of like, are you cheering a specific person on in order to win the show this year? Like, for the big
Yeah, I'm
bodybuilding.
interested in watching the bodybuilding category.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. I mean, because that's a stacked lineup as well.
It is. It is.
Got Nathan from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it. So I mean, I'm going to be cheering him on because he's from the UK. But yeah, I'm more excited for that. That category is going to be like, I mean, it's going to be stacked.
like I almost feel it's just as good as the Olympia. Like
It's probably better.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like competition.
I think the only person that's missing off of that is Hadi Chupan. Like
Yeah, and obviously Brandon.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally that's it, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got Rami, you got Cedric,
Yeah.
You got a lot of huge names.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, and it'd be good to see because then that will kind of line them up for the Olympia going in September.
Awesome. Man. So again, Ryan, I want to thank you for joining me today for on this
Thank you for having
interview.
me on.
It was a pleasure trying to dig
Yeah,
into your history and
yeah. You got deep, man. In on Google, right?
Man, it wouldn't be a proper interview, bro, if I don't go deep,
Yeah.
man.
What page did you get up to on Google? Page 10?
I had to do a lot of Google. Google's my friend, like what I said in the beginning of the interview.
Yeah. When you said fame, you dug in deep, man. You
Yeah,
dug in deep.
I tried, man. I tried.
Yeah.
But again, man, thank you so much for it. Wish you the best on 3.5 more weeks to your show.
Yeah.
And I'll be in Columbus, so I really do hope that I'll be able to run into you, speak to you a little
Okay,
bit.
definitely, 100%.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So again, man, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me on. Keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm just going to keep on going, man, and
Yeah, keep doing it.
try not let anything get in my way anymore.
No, literally just, keep going, keep going. You're doing a good job because you've got 2 channels, haven't you? 2 or
No,
3.
I got 4.
Well, you got a bikini one as well, right?
I got classic, men's physique, bikini, and of course Pro League, which covers all the divisions.
Keep going, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Keep going.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Nice one.